Hey there, my name's David, and welcome back to the Restyle File, where we talk all things reselling. Today we have a What Sold video for my sales for the week from March the 5th through March the 11th. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe and hit that bell notification, that way you're notified whenever I upload a video every week. And make sure to like, comment, and share this video with anyone that you think may be into reselling content. Today's What Sold video will cover sales from the prior week that will let you know what you should be picking up when you see it at a thrift store and what items are currently selling for. I make videos like this every single week, so make sure that you're subscribed. I really appreciate it. Now, this week, was a good week. It was actually probably my best week. I'm excited to talk about it, so let's get straight into it. The first day we're talking about is Sunday, March the 5th. I had 7 Poshmark sales and 1 eBay sale. I think the reason I had so many Poshmark sales was because I had actually run a sale on Saturday, the day before, and sale offers are good for 24 hours, so I think a lot of these were due to that sale. The first sale on Poshmark was a Hell Bunny Wither pleated trousers in yellow plaid size extra large new with tags. They sold for $31. After Poshmark's fees, I received $22.78. I paid $12 for these at a Goodwill boutique section, so my profit on those was $10.78. That was a bit of an experiment for me, just because I was not familiar with this brand, but they seemed to be very sort of goth, very punk, and I thought that that would make them very desirable, but it definitely took a long time for these to sell. And they didn't really sell for much when they finally did, so in the future, probably wouldn't pick up this brand if I see it again. The next item to sell was a vintage brown micro plaid 4-pocket button-down shirt size medium. It sold for $14. After Poshmark's fees, I received $9.03. I paid $6 for this shirt at Goodwill, so my total profit was $3.03, which probably sounds embarrassingly small, but this was actually a shirt I had purchased for myself, and when I tried it on at home, I just couldn't find anything that I really wanted to wear it with. So rather than re-donating it to Goodwill or taking it anywhere else, I thought I'll just go ahead and list it. So at the very least, I made a little bit of profit over what I paid for the shirt. The next item to sell was a L'Agence Margot high-rise pink rose skinny jeans size 27. They sold for $21. After Poshmark's fees, I received $14.78. I paid $3 for these at a Salvation Army thrift store, so my total profit was $11.78. This style of jean is very dated, and printed jeans I've heard are also on their way out if they aren't already completely out. So I listed these probably about a month ago just because they were in one of my death piles, and I'm working on trying to get through my death pile. And I'm glad that they sold, just because I was concerned that they never would. The next item to sell was a Liberty of London paisley printed embroidered shirt size 12. It sold for $22. After Poshmark's fees, I received $17.60. I paid $6 for this at Goodwill, so my total profit was $11.60. I'd heard that Liberty collaborations with J. Crew can do really well. I've had 1 or 2 that I've sold for decent prices. So when I saw this Liberty print on it, just Liberty by itself, no collaboration with anyone, I thought it would do well, but it actually took a really long time for it to sell. So I suppose when it comes to Liberty, it's very much style dependent. The next item to sell was an Everlane The Modern Bobo slip-on loafer size 11. They sold for $75. After Poshmark's fees, I received $60. I paid $20 for these at a Buffalo Exchange. They were on clearance, so my total profit was $40. I actually bought these for myself. They barely fit. I like neutral colors like this, but I find myself not wearing them that often. So I figured I'd go ahead and list it. Everlane shoes usually do very well. Sometimes they sit a bit. These I've probably had listed for a few months now, but they sold for a very good price. I've also had Everlane shoes flip in less than a week, so I suppose it's a little style dependent, and these were a larger size. The next item to sell was a vintage St. John Sport tan paisley corduroy pants size 10. They sold for $25. After Poshmark's fees, I received $20, and I paid about $2 for these at a family thrift center outlet, so my total profit was $18. These I had actually purchased for the purpose of sending them into the RealReal, but when the RealReal received them, they actually denied them. Boo! But when I got them, they went into a death pile, and I eventually thought, I'm gonna go ahead and slap it on a mannequin and try to style it with something that looks okay and see what happens. And after a few months, it did eventually sell. Not for a lot, but for probably about the equivalent of what I would have gotten from the RealReal. So I'll take it. If you haven't heard about the RealReal is a luxury consignment website that you can send clothing to, and they take care of photographing the item, listing the item, take care of selling it, and shipping it to customers, etc. And you get a commission from the amount that the item sells for. Making the RealReal work for you is a very sort of delicate science. If you want to find out more information about using the RealReal, then make sure to check out my other video where I had a ship with me regarding the RealReal, where I prepared a package and let you know the thought process behind the items that I picked up, what I expect they will accept, and more. If you're interested in seeing a follow-up to that video, please let me know in the comments below. The last item to sell on Poshmark was a Cole Haan 4.0 grand Stitch Light knit loafers, size 11.5. They sold for $40. After Poshmark's fees, I received $32. I paid about $10 for these at Goodwill, so my total profit was $22. I was hoping to get a little bit more for these, but when I was taking photos of them, I saw one of the soles, the insoles was a bit loose, and I don't think that's part of the design of the shoe. Otherwise, I did see that they have a pretty decent sell-through rate, but it took them a while to sell, I assume likely because of that fact. But I still made a profit on them. Happy with that. On Sunday, I also had one eBay sale. My eBay sale was a John Simon's hand-woven Indian madras long sleeve plaid shirt bundle. It sold for $60. If eBay were to take 20% from my sale, they might take less, they might take more. It's kind of hard to wager with eBay. But if they were to take 20%, I would be left with $48. I paid $14 for these two shirts, so my total profit was $34. I'd actually had these shirts listed separately in two separate listings for about $40 each, but I got a message from an interested buyer who said, would you be willing to accept $60 for both of them and ship them together to save on shipping? And I said, absolutely, I would be happy to do that. And they left positive feedback. We love to see it. This particular brand I was not familiar with at all, but I did see that it was very expensive retail, but it had absolutely no presence on eBay, Poshmark, or any of the other sites really. So it was kind of a gamble. For a while I regretted it just because it sat for about 4 or 5 months. But it finally did sell, and it sold for a decent price. I might pick it up if I ever see it again, although I doubt it. But definitely do your research. Next we're talking about Monday the 6th. I had 4 Poshmark sales. The first Poshmark sale was a mono sewing cropped gray suit jacket size medium. It sold for $15. After Poshmark's fees, I received $9.98. I actually have this from my own closet, so we're going to say that the $9.98 is pure profit, considering that I got a pretty considerable amount of use out of this item. The next item to sell was a Jonathan Simkai red lace satin overlay dress size 4. It sold for $105. After Poshmark's fees, I received $81.98. I paid about $12 for this dress at a Salvation Army on a regular day, not a half-off day, so my total profit was $69.98. This was a really exciting find. When I saw it in the thrift store, I had no idea what label it might have been or what the brand was, and I was ready to pick it up just off of style alone. But then when I looked on the inside, I saw that there was a tag that said Jonathan Simkai, which the RealReal does accept, and they price it okay. but I thought I would try to list it myself and see if I could get a bigger payout than I would with the RealReal. And I think I accomplished that here. I actually had that listed for probably a little bit less than a week. I posted about this dress along with another beautiful dress that I found by Carmen Mark Volvo Collection on my Instagram. And I also just recently found out that all the links that I had in my prior videos for my Instagrams, my social media, all of my stores were not working. So I have gone ahead and edited all of the descriptions in order to update my Instagram and also for all of my stores. So if you have been planning on trying to follow, please make sure to do so below. I have the links pasted into the description box. They work now, so please take a look at my Instagram, give me a follow, and let me know what kind of content you'd like to see on Instagram in the comments below as well. The next item to sell on Poshmark was an Anthropologie 2009 vintage Cadiz floral cup. It sold for $15. After Poshmark's fees, I received $12, and I paid $3 for this at Goodwill, so my total profit was $9. I've heard that thrifted Anthropologie home goods can do pretty well, especially if you find vintage prints or hard to find editions that can do really well. Definitely the kind of thing that you want to do a little bit of research on. The next item to sell was a Ralph Lauren purple label slim fit linen blend green jeans size 37. They sold for $20. After Poshmark's fees, I received $16. I paid about $8 for these at Goodwill, so my profit was $8. Now, Ralph Lauren Purple Label is actually probably Ralph Lauren's most expensive label. I can't recall if it's either the purple label or the black label. So ideally, I would have probably wanted a lot more for these, but when I brought them home, I noticed that they had been altered. They stated that they were size 38, but when I measured everything, it appeared they were closer to size 37. And when I got an offer for $20, I figured, I don't want to deal with possibly listing these or them selling on eBay and then getting an eBay customer who's not into them. So when someone sent me an offer for $20 on Poshmark, I figured that's enough to pay me for what I paid and a little bit more, so I'll take it. But if you ever see Ralph Lauren Purple Label in stores, definitely something to see if it's worth picking up. I'd say if you check comps on the RealReal, it might even be worth sending in there. The next day we're talking about is the 7th. On Tuesday, I had 3 Poshmark sales and 2 eBay sales. The first Poshmark sale was a vintage 70s blue shearling hooded coat size 40. It sold for $170. After Poshmark's fees, I received $136. I paid about $4 for this at a paid by the pound bodega in South Texas. So my total profit was $132. This was a really exciting sale just because I have had this item for probably about half a year now, and I kind of just bought it on a whim just because it was shearling, and I thought that the fact that it was blue was very unique, especially since it was very obviously vintage. I'd like to mention that I actually received an offer for, I believe, $125 for this one on eBay about 4 months ago. So I could have sold it much earlier for not that different of a price, but the buyer on eBay gave me a very strange vibe. They were asking a lot of questions about the product, which I particularly don't mind, but they asked questions that were very repetitive. And when I would answer their question, they would seem to ask it again and again and again. After they had sent their offer, I took a look at their feedback on their profile, and I saw that other sellers had commented on him, stating that they make a bunch of returns and that they tried to return their shearling jacket, and at that point I was thinking, this sounds like a problem waiting to happen. So rather than possibly deal with a return on eBay with this buyer, I figured I'm just going to go ahead and block him. Which I did, just because they kept sending the same questions over and over again. So I'm glad that this item finally sold, and on Poshmark, where I feel a little bit more comfortable. Have you ever had an interaction like that before on eBay? I'm curious to know, so please let me know below if you've ever had a situation like that and how you handled it. Another great sale that happened that day was this Louis Vuitton major pebbled navy leather loafers size 8. They sold for $275. After Poshmark's fees, I received $220, and I paid $150 for these in the Goodwill boutique section. So my profit on those was $70. These were definitely a bit of a gamble. I knew that they would sell eventually. I actually had them listed at about 450, but this was the first offer that I'd received that was somewhat reasonable within the month or so that I had them listed. So I prefer a bird in the hand versus two in the bush. I'd also considered possibly keeping these just because they happen to be my size, but I figured they were navy, which, I mean, I'm wearing blue now, but I don't wear a lot of navy shoes. And I'm one of those people where I feel like your shoes do have to match your belt. And I think I have a navy belt, but no, too much. The next item to sell on Poshmark was a Coach Monogram Piper Espadrille Sandal Heels size 9. They sold for $50. After Poshmark's fees, I received $40. I paid $15 for these at Goodwill, so my total profit was $25. On Tuesday, I also had two eBay sales. The first sale was an Eileen Fisher black merino wool asymmetrical cardigan with leather collar detail size medium petite. It sold for $40. If eBay were to take 20% from my sale, that would leave me with $32. I paid $6 for this item, so my total profit is $26. I love selling Eileen Fisher, but I definitely do try to find the statement pieces. So outerwear, or if it's more basic pieces, they have to be linen or silk. If it's just like simple t-shirts or things like that that are made of cotton, unless they're very cheap, I tend to probably skip them. The next item to sell on eBay was a Voila St. Barth Tropical Capri Summer Beach Scenic Printed Swim Shorts size 38. It sold for $40. If eBay were to take 20% from my sale, I would make about $32 from this item, and I paid $5 for it, so my total profit was $27. Next is Wednesday, the 8th. I had 3 Poshmark sales and 1 Mercari sale. Mercari made an appearance this week. So, my first sale on Poshmark was a Lauren by Ralph Lauren black shawl cardigan size small. It sold for $11. After Poshmark's fees, I received $8.05. I paid about $1 for this because it was at a pay-by-the-pound bodega. So my total profit was $7.05. The next time to sell on Poshmark was a Universal Standard all-day cigarette pants new with tags size 18. They sold for $50. After Poshmark's fees, I received $40. I paid $15 for these in the boutique section of Goodwill, so my total profit was $25. Universal Standard is a label that makes sort of office or career wear in larger sizes, and they retail for a lot of money, and they seem to do okay in reselling. The next item to sell was an Outdoor Research Rada Pocket Nylon Hat. It sold for $15. After Poshmark's fees, I received $12. I paid $3 for this hat at Goodwill, so my total profit was $9. I've heard Outdoor Research is a great label to pick up in thrift stores, but I imagine this was just a simple hat, not a lot to it, so that's probably why it sat for a while for me. Now let's talk about my Mercari sale. It was a pretty good one. It was a Rothy's Merino Wool Blend Cherry Red Round Toe Loafers size 11. They sold for $100, and after Mercari's fees and the cost to ship the item, since I offer free shipping on Mercari, I received $78.64. I paid about $12.51 for these at a family thrift center, so my total profit was $66.13. Rothy's is an incredible brand, always sells very well, and these were in the best condition I've ever found any. They actually still had a sort of plastic wrap on the bottom, so they didn't really seem to have any sort of wear anywhere. The only thing you want to be mindful of is that there are definitely Rothy fakes out there. Next is Thursday the 9th. I had 5 Poshmark sales and 1 eBay sale. The first item to sell on Poshmark was a Citizens of Humanity Maternity Kelly bootcut jeans size 32, new with tags. They sold for $65. After Poshmark's fees, I received $52. I paid $15 for these in a boutique section of Goodwill, so my total profit was $37. The next item to sell was a Levi's chambray trucker lightweight shirt jacket size large. It sold for $31. After Poshmark's fees, I received $22.78. I paid about $6 for this, so my total profit was $16.78. The next item to sell was a Madewell The Transport Tote in English Saddle. It sold for $60. After Poshmark's fees, I received $48, and I paid up for this item in the boutique section of Goodwill at $20, so my total profit was $28. I probably could have gotten a little bit more if I held out, but I just wanted to make a quick flip on it. The next item to sell was a vintage 90s Athletic Works balloon green zip-off convertible pants size extra large. They sold for $40. After Poshmark's fees, I received $32, and I paid about $2 for these at a family thrift center, so my total profit was $30. The next item to sell was a Carhartt vintage double knee industrial tan pants size 38. They sold for $38. I just noticed that. They are size 38 and they sold for $38. After Poshmark's fees, I received $30.40, and I paid about $6 for them at a Salvation Army on a half off day, so my total profit was $24.40. You really can't go wrong with Carhartt double knee pants. They will almost always sell pretty consistently for a decent profit, but with Carhartt you definitely want to stick to pants, outerwear, overalls, things like that. Simple t-shirts or button-down shirts, definitely much more of a gamble. My eBay sale for Thursday was a Corcoran black military combat leather jump boots size 10.5, new without tags. They sold for $100 on eBay, and after eBay's fees, if they were to take 20%, I would be left with $80. I paid $10 for these on a half off day at the Salvation Army thrift store, so my total profit was $70. This was a really great sale, and I had actually received a message from the buyer first saying if I would be able to ship to Europe, which I don't currently have international shipping just because I haven't really wrapped my head around it. I've tried to watch a couple of videos on it, but it seems like it's kind of a large undertaking. And I was even considering possibly not responding to the message just because I figured, well, if they're over there, they're probably not going to be able to purchase the item. But I wanted to be polite, so of course I did mention, no, I don't ship to Europe or internationally. I only ship within the United States. And they said, okay, I may purchase the item and have it shipped to a US address. So they ultimately did purchase the item, and I have sent it out, and I am really excited about that sale. But on that note, do you offer international shipping? Do you know any sort of tips or tricks or recommendations that you can give me? Because I just haven't bitten the bullet yet. Is it as hard as I'm making it seem, or is it a much simpler? Let me know in the comments below. Next day we are talking about is Friday the 10th. I had 2 Poshmark sales. The first sale was a R13 oversized cropped plaid shirt in yellow size extra small. It sold for $101. After Poshmark's fees, I received $80.80, and I paid $6 for this shirt at Goodwill, so my total profit was $74.80. What a great sale. R13 is a luxury brand. This shirt retail, I think, was probably about $400 or $500, and it was a fairly recent style. The next item to sell was a vintage Escada purple plum eggplant velvet blazer size 42. It sold for $32. After Poshmark's fees, I received $25.60. I paid $5 for this at a flea market in Alamo, Texas, so my total profit was $20.60. The last day we're talking about is Saturday, which is today. I had 3 Poshmark sales and 1 eBay sale. My first Poshmark sale was a Neiman Marcus exclusive leather fringe moto jacket size large. It sold for $90. After Poshmark's fees, I received $72, and I paid about $2 for this jacket because I picked it up at the Goodwill bins. So my total profit was $70. And when I'm talking about the bins, I mean the Goodwill outlet bins, where you basically pay for clothing by the pound. And some resellers are very much into Goodwill bins. Me, myself, I have enjoyed it. Sometimes I have absolutely no luck with it. Sometimes I find really cool stuff. I remember one time I found Johnny Was at the bins, which I thought was really fascinating. And this leather jacket I also thought was really, really beautiful. But I don't tend to go myself too often just because I feel like I pick up stuff that really isn't that interesting just because it's so cheap. If the Goodwill bins is a big part of your cost of goods strategy, I'd love to hear about it. The next item to sell was a Johnny Was JWLA Lovebirds floral embroidered shirt mini dress, size small. It sold for $40. After Poshmark's fees, I received $32, and I paid up for this item at $12 in the boutique section of Goodwill, so my total profit was $20. The next item to sell on Poshmark was a Vivaya, I'm not sure how to say it exactly, Vivaya Della pointed toe knit slingback heels in black, size 9. They sold for $40. After Poshmark's fees, I received $32, and I paid about $8 for these at a Goodwill. So my total profit was $24. This one sold in just a few days. And these shoes do cost a lot of money retail. They seem to be somewhat similar to Rothy's. Does anyone else have it where you look up brands to check comps and all of a sudden now all of your Facebook ads and all of your Instagram ads are related to these brands? My Instagram is now filled with Vivaya shoe ads, and I am not their target market, but it is what it is, I suppose. The last item to sell was on eBay, and it was a Carbon 38 high-rise 7/8 light aqua leggings with pockets in cloud size small. They sold for $45. If eBay were to take 20%, that would leave me with $36, and I paid about $10 for these at a charity resale shop, so my total profit was $26. I wasn't familiar with this brand at all, but when I checked comps, it seemed to be okay. I don't believe I checked the sell-through rate. These definitely did linger in my closet for a bit. I feel like the color's a bit bright, but they eventually sold, and for a decent price. Now it's time to summarize my sales for the week in terms of numbers. So for Poshmark, my total revenue was $1,508. After Poshmark's fees, I received $1,179.78. My cost of goods sold for the items that sold on Poshmark was $352, so my total profit was $827.78. On eBay, my total revenue was $285. After their proposed fees of 20%, I would be left with $228. My cost of goods sold for the items that sold on eBay was $45, so my total profit was $183. On Mercari, my total revenue was $100. After Mercari's fees and the cost to ship the item, I received $78.64. My cost of goods sold for the item was $12.51, so my profit on Mercari was $66.13. Unfortunately, we didn't have a showing from Depop this week, but perhaps we will next week. Now, my grand totals, my total revenue for all my platforms was $1,893. After the miscellaneous fees from all the platforms and the cost to ship some of the items, I received $1,486.42. My cost of goods sold for all items this week was $409.51. So my total profit for the week was $1,076.91. I do believe this is my best week yet. We love to see it. More weeks like this, please. The only thing better than having a fantastic sales week like this one is being able to share it with my viewers. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to view my video. Again, if you haven't done so, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you are notified every time I upload a video every week. And like, comment, and share this video with anyone that you think may be interested in reselling content. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. and I hope you also had an amazing sales week. I'd love to hear how yours went. Please let me know in the comments below. I'll see you in the next one. If I had to pick a favorite sale from this week, it's really hard to choose. Just because there was a lot of really great sales in terms of dollar amount, in terms of style pickups, but actually I would like to point out one sale that made me particularly happy, and it was the cup. The reason being because after the buyer had sent me the offer and I accepted it, they sent me another message saying, "Thank you, I had 4 of them, but just broke one." And they sent me this picture of what looks like their adorable little coffee nook. And I can see that they have 3 very similar style ones that appear to be other sort of color variations from that particular collection. And the completionist in me is so happy that I can provide them with that 4th cup that they have been missing and that I'm sure is not super easy to find online. So I am excited for them to be able to round out their set. The completionist in me is just like, yes! I think other sellers can also relate. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Later days!